Hey everyone, welcome back to Beginner to Factorum. We're on episode 13 and today it's finally time to go into battle. But before we do, there are a few crucial preparations left. We need to make some ammo first of all. We need to set up the missile system and then double check everything to ensure we are ready to fight. So let's dive in straight away. So some changes have happened in the meantime between the last episode and now. I did add these lights instead of the searchlight, and that is to allow me to actually make a broader light. That way I also could shed some light on my battleship. We did the same here, and here, so all the ships now are a bit lit up and we can see what is going on around the space station. If you are interested, each of these are now also released on the workshop. I released them last week actually, but if you want to check them out, I will drop them again in the description or in the comments. Maybe I'll make a pinned comment if you want to check it out. This one will also be added to the workshop later on, but I just want to complete this before. I think for today, as I said, we're going to focus on building the missile bay, or at least preparing the missile bay, because I already made the missiles. If you want to check out how those missiles are built, you can check me out. You can check them out in a live stream. I can link in the description. So today we're going to be focusing on this spot here. The welders are still on. I will have to rename these as well. So the first thing I'm going to do, let me go into my cockpit, or let me just go in here and go into my control panel. We're going to turn off the welders. These are all the welders. I'm going to turn them off. There we go. And then I'll rename the welders in the missile bay so I know which are the different ones. So now we should be safe here. Yeah. So let me just call this welder missile bay 1. Alright, now I'm gonna copy that and then every time rename these two missile bay 2. Alright, let's go in here and we're gonna start with setting up the framework for the missiles. And I am gonna have to build another rotor on the other side. What I just realized, let me just check this. Is this an advanced rotor? This is an advanced rotor, no? So if I say add medium head and we weld you up. There we go. So that has a connector. Alright, so we can do the same on this side. What I'm just realizing is that I might focus first on making the ammo, so that ammo has been made while we're waiting. So if I go to production, we should have 4 assemblers. And let me check my control panel. Turrets. We got Gatling turrets, artillery, and assault. And we also have the interior turrets. So we're gonna have to make ammo for each of these. So the ammo for the Gatling turrets is pretty easy. We can just make, let's see, how much does this ask me? A little bit of magnesium powder. So that should be pretty easy. So let's make amount of this. We will also need railgun sabots for the large one. This will need uranium, silicon, nickel, and iron ingot. I am assuming our shots are not going to be that much. So I think if I go for maybe 50, that would be more than enough. We need some artillery shells. Let's go for 100 shots. Let's go for assault guns. We're going to go for 600 shots. And then we need to check which ones I need again for my, I think it might be these here, 1,800. That means each of them will get 100 bullets or 100 magazines. And then we can see what is the weight, how much does it add to the ship. I will probably have to add more gyros as well. Here we go. So we're going to set up a grid here with 2 projectors for this bay. We're going to set up a grid here with 2 projectors for this bay. And these are going to be the same. So what I'm actually thinking of doing, if I build a projector in here. So let's start with a projector. I'm going to build this in such a way like that. So we have the plus on top and the line in front. We're going to do the same on that side. We're going to put the plus on top and the line in front. That should allow me to blueprint this subgrid. So we need to find a way to make sure that the missile is as centered inside this door. But I'm just realizing, as this is going to cause some issues. All right, so we're going to begin with building the conveyor, not a conveyor sort, just a conveyor. And I will be needing some interior plates for that. So we want this to be here, I think. And down here we can put a projector. And I'm going to use that projector as a way to just copy over the block on the other side. So I'm going to put it with the plus up and the stripe towards me. Like that. That should allow me to just copy over this without having to figure it out again. We'll see. So my missile is going to be 4x4 and the connector is going to be to the left or the right. I could actually put 2 more projectors already. So we could do the same. One here and one here. Let's do rename this projector missile bay 1, bay 2. There we go. This is going to be projector missile launcher 1. If I go to my projectors, we've got the missile bay 1 and 2. I'm going to go to blueprints and we're going to look for my missiles. I forgot what we called them. I gave them a bit of a funny name, so I called them duct tape special because they are definitely not the best looking missiles. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I made 4 missiles and made them separately so that each of them have different names and different groups. That means once I disconnect them, I can then use them in a sequence and I don't fire them all at once. Or some of the missiles get confused because the event controller is also disconnecting the other ones. So this is missile bay 1, no? So we're going to take missile bay 1 is going to be duct tape 1. We're going to say keep projection, and then we're going to adjust the projection's location. Then we're going to go for projector missile bay 2 blueprints, and we're going to look for duct tape again. I'm going to take duct tape special 2, and we're going to say keep projection as well, and that should be it for now. Alright, so now we should be able to go and check our projectors out. None of these are on the right location. So let's go in here and do some adjustments. So I'm going to do vertical offsets so I have a bit of an idea where they are. Not this one, not this one, this one. And this seems to be the right setup, no? Yeah, so this is the nose. Let's do the same with this. Now, let's rotate that so we can see our connectors on the right side as well. There we go. So this is my connector right here. This is my merge block. And we need to make sure that this missile is in the center. That means we're going to have to shift a bit to the left. Like that. Then we need to shift it to the left here as well. Something like that, maybe. I think we can drop it one lower. Missile seems to be nice and centered here. Not as center here. But if I go one further, we're going to have the same issue on the other side. So I think I prefer it here, because that is going to allow me to weld up my plates on the side. I will just drop my missile one step down, I think. Let me see. Yeah, let's drop it one step down. So that's the vertical offset. Like that. So normally my welder should be able to weld up this, this, and this, and there's nothing in the way of blocking it of welding it up. So now what I need to provide is the pipe that is going to fuel and also merge block this the missile. All right. Now we just need to provide our merge block as well. Okay. Let me just recharge. All right. So, missile setup, connector setup. I might have to rename these. What was this again? This is missile bay 1. All right. So what I'm going to do, we're going to call this connector. I will probably do some better naming later. I just need to know where everything is. So we're going to do this connector missile bay 1. I will do this again. Merge block missile bay 1. That is going to help me later on when I set up the event controls. So I'm going to put these welders on right now there. So I'm going to put you on. I'm going to turn you on. I want to see if you weld up my whole missile. So this takes a long time before this is welded up, by the way. So this is not a quick solution. Okay, I got a 1 there. That's nice. Everything seems to be welded up. Watch out. Doesn't look like I'm missing anything. I can double check. If I check this missile bay 1 projector, we can double check. In the meantime, you know what? I'm going to turn on this too. Alright, let's go and check. Control panel, projectors. So missile bay 1 complete, and as you can see, missile bay 2 is currently being completed. It says 55 of 91. So we're still waiting for this all to be welded up, but missile bay is complete, so I am actually on the perfect position to fire this missile whenever I need to. All right, that seems to be working fine. Connectors are not connected. I'm going to leave it like that for the moment. We're going to set this up later with the event controller. What I need to do right now is blueprint this and copy this over to this side. And I hope this is the right angle. If not, I might have to adjust. Either way, I think we're going to not call it here. I think I'm going to just do this now after recording. You see how I did it for the 2 missiles. It's the same on the other side. So either I'm going to build it manually or I'm going to use projection. All right, so we have set up both of the welders, not both of the welders, both of the projectors and the launch arms. Let me just go in here. Let me put some light on. This is very tight here, by the way. I cannot really get in between much. So let's see. So now we got the same here as we have there. Each of them have been named. So if I would look into this connector, you should see we have now all the missile base set up. So we have the connectors, we have the merge block, we have all the projectors, and then we have all the welders as well, and the lights. And these are the launchers. This is just to repair the launcher in case it's necessary to do so. So now we need to begin with setting up the launching sequence, and that's going to need some timers and event blocks. So what I decided to do, I'm going to be building some large event blocks and timers as well. That is going to be on the ship. But for most of it, I probably am going to build it also on the launch arm instead. I will have to probably re-blueprint it just to be sure. Let me just open up and let me go to toolbar 9. I got my timer blocks already. I got my event block. So we will need 4 event blocks and 4 timers, and these are going to control the launch arms. So we're going to need 2 on each side. 2 of each on each side, if that makes sense. So let me start with the event blocks. We're going to put 1 event block here, and I don't have the resources for it. So let me just get some, and we'll be back. All right, so we start with 2 event blocks. We're going to do 1 here, 1 here. We're going to do the same here. 1 here and 1 here. And then we put 2 timers as well. 1, 2. 1, 2. Oh yeah, by the way, you might see that I have the the missiles are no longer here. I did grind them down again, so I can double check and test everything once it's necessary. I did lose some power cells, but that's okay. So now, this is going to be Missile Bay Connector 1. This is going to be Missile Bay Connector 2. So we're going to do the same here. I probably am too close to give this a name because my build vision doesn't work. I can do it here, but not there. Let me see. All right. So this is going to be Missile Bay Event Controller 1. All right. So now we got set up the welders. We got the event controllers, and the timer set up, and that should be enough for this. Now we're just gonna go into the ship. We're gonna build the other ones we need as well. If I can get through this somehow. Very tight spot. Pretty sure. You cannot move anymore because of the timers now. All right. Let's see if I can get through there. Yeah, like that. It's a bit tight. So yeah. For the people who are wondering what the glass is doing in here, this is kind of to protect the missiles. You never know when I'm moving. It could be that I'm not paying attention and I'm pressing the missiles to launch. If I move forward, the missiles might just move inside the ship. The glass is to ensure that the missile just hit the glass and then just still have the space to fly out. Now, I only can use glass because there was nothing else that would allow me to weld up all 4 sides. So that is a bit of the solution we have right here. So now what we need here, we need an event controller and a timer that is going to control the inside of the ship. So for example, it's going to check the doors and all that. How much is in here? 2000, okay. What I was thinking actually, you know, we have this conveyor on the bottom here. I could have moved my oxygen tank down here and then have my event block in the middle here. I think that might be better because I think I want to put gyros up here and even maybe here if I have the space for it, or here. We need more gyros, I think, because the ship still feels a little bit sluggish. So, all right, let me do that. I'm going to move this tank down. That means I'm going to go to my, or I can do it from here. I'm going to put my oxygen tanks in the space station to stockpile. That way I can empty this one, then take it and put it instead of the conveyors here, because we have the connectors down there, but none of these are connected to anything left and right. So I can just put the oxygen tank below there. So let me do that. I'll be back once I have the event controller in place. All right. So this event controller is going to check if my doors are open. So once the doors are open, I will be able to launch my missiles. If the doors are closed, I won't be able to do that. So we're going to call this missile launch system door check. This might be a little bit long, but that's okay. You have to check if the doors are closed. And we're looking for launch tubes. So we're going to add those 4 to this position here. And all 4 doors need to be open or closed. The first action is triggered if each block meets the condition. All right. I'll go to select actions. And in here, we now need to put the timers either turned off or on. So when all doors are fully open, that means we can turn on the timers. When the doors are closed, we cannot turn on the timers. So let's look for timer. And we're looking for this here. I built a spare timer in the back as well, just to be sure. But we should have enough with this. So when all doors are fully opened, we can turn on this one and turn off this one. All right, and then we go to, so this is Missile Bay 1. Let's go to 2. We do the same with Missile Bay 2 now. We say turn on, turn off. Let me just double check this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Toggle block on. Toggle block off. Again, this is all build info. This is not part of the vanilla experience. That means now, if I check my timers, these should be enabled. You can see they are green up there. And they are green up there. Now, once I open a door, I don't know if I can reach it from here, but let's see. Yeah, let's open this up. And now we close it again. That should activate the event blocks. And if I open this, it should not activate. No, had some lag it seems. Right. Now, if I do all 4 doors open, if I now go to my missile, we're looking for the tube hatch doors, and I open all of them. Now my timers are activated. All right, so that works. That means that only when the doors are open, I will be able to engage my missiles. All right, I'm gonna go and sit in my cockpit so I can set up the rest now. So the plan is to call this ship Riftblade. Someone in the stream or after the stream suggested to call it Fender since the shape of the ship reminded them of the guitar head. I really liked the reference and the thinking behind it. It even made me consider calling it Defender, which sounds similar like Defender. But still, the ship isn't really designed for defense. It is designed for offense. We need an aggressive name. So after some thought, I settled on Riftblade. Riff keeps the musical theme, and Blade better represents the design of the ship. It's sleek, it's sharp, and Blade also sounds more offensive. So from now on, this ship will be known as the Riftblade. There we go. And we can now rename all of these to make sure that they are named fittingly. So we're going to give this a prefix of Riftblade and prefix them. There we go. So everything now has been named properly, so we know that this is part of the ship. We already made the doors for the launch tubes. We have also the welders. So these are going to be the missile bay welders. So we do again Riftblade missile bay welders. Okay. And then these are the ship repair welders. There are a few more things I'm going to have to put in groups, for example, with these doors here as well. But I don't think I'm going to spend time in showing all of this, because this is just a personal preference on how things are grouped. All right, so these are my event controllers. We already set up the event controller for the launch system, which means that if the door is closed, the timers won't activate until the doors are open. And I will be activating my timers by using a button or a control on my toolbar on the cockpit. So that means that we can look for the timers first, just to make sure that these are all set up. So timer 1 doesn't really matter, because we're going to press the button and that's going to engage straight away. Let's put it on as 1 second anyway. So each of these are going to be after 1 second. So each missile is going to be fired 1 second after the other one. That should be more than enough. So timer 1 setup actions is going to go to the missile bay connector 1 and the merge block. So if I activate it, it is going to disconnect or unlock, and it's going to turn off. I need a third timer to turn all these merge blocks on again, which I actually have. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the merge blocks off, while the missile does this already for me, but I think it might be good to just have a backup here as well. So what I'm going to do, the timer 1 is going to disconnect the connector, and it's going to disengage the merge block as well. So we're going to say turn block off. So that means that the missile is going to be completely disconnected, and it can go. All right. Then timer 2, we go to timer 2 now, go to setup actions here. This one is going to go to, is going to disconnect connector 2, unlock. It is going to unlock merge block 2, off. And then I can do the same as well for the other 2 timer blocks. All right. So now all of these are set. These will now all engage, but they only will work if my doors are open. If my doors are not open, I will not be able to activate the missiles, or at least the timers for the missiles. Now we have another timer, and I call this the spare timer. That is going to be the missile bay merge block reset. So this one here, setup actions. That means I should probably go to missile bay 4, select actions, and we need to put the timer on here. So we got the roof blade, and you're going to just start this one. And then this one, after 2 seconds, is going to engage the merge blocks again. So it's going to turn all of these on again. The reason why I'm leaving that much time in between is if the missile doesn't leave quick enough, the merge block might pull it back in. So I want to give the missile at least 2 seconds to get out of the ship. If not, it might merge again, and then I have to go in and remove it. So that's set up. Missiles can now disengage. I already set up the missiles itself, so that's done as well. What else do I need to do? I need to connect everything, which means that the event controllers need to figure out when the missiles are ready to connect. And for that, we're going to use the event controllers we built on the launch system, the small grid ones. These event controllers are going to check if the connector is ready to connect, and if it is, it will connect the missile to it. And that should be the beginning of the possibility to launch it. So if I go to my EC, we now have these missile bay controllers here. These need to check if a connector is ready to connect. So we're just going to go to connector ready or idle. And then it has to just look for one of these. Now, I don't know which one is which. So we know we're going to have to rename these connectors. So let's start with that. Connector 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to rename these to Missile Bay 1 and remove the number behind it. Missile Bay 2. All right, now we can go back to our event controller and we should now be able to find the right one. So Missile Bay 1, event controller 1 will check if the Missile Bay 1 connector is ready. All right. The same is going to happen with all these. So let's do that first, and then we're going to go into the actions. All right. So now all of these should be checking the corresponding connector. Now the select actions is if you are ready to connect or if you're idle, then we can connect our missile bay. So when each connector is ready to lock, then we take the corresponding connector, connector 1, and we say switch lock. And I think instead we need to do unlock. Unlock. I want to make sure it's unlocking and not connecting. When each connector is ready to lock, lock. All right, and we need to do this for each connector. So we need to just link the connector to the corresponding event block. All right, so this should be the proper setup. We will be testing that. That means I'm going to lose 4 missiles if this is working, because it's just going to fire in the sky. Let me connect my ship again so that I can withdraw stuff if I need to weld them up. Now, what I want to check as well, we have the warning lights. I'm going to turn these and save these in the group as well. That means if I turn these on, then these will automatically also turn on the light for me and warn me that the welders are on before I step inside. Now, my projectors are off. So let us go and turn on the welders and the projectors and see if this is working. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put my, my spectator camera inside the missile bay. That way we can see what is going on. So as you can see, my timers are disengaged. So if I now go to my toolbar tree and I say projections on, there we go, and welders on, and these are now going to weld up my missiles. This is going to take quite some time, as you can see. So I think it's a good idea to have my missiles ready, welded up before we depart. And then when we're in battle, it's going to take quite some time to get the next batch ready to fire. So I'm not sure how viable this is going to be during the combat. Right, missiles seem to be welded up. I can double check this if that's true. If I check my projectors. Complete, 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 complete. You know what I'm wondering is, if there is an event block that actually can check this. I'm just going to write it down so I can double check that. Event controller, projector completion. So we can check this in a second. All right, so now that we have done that, I should be able to, if I want to, engage my... Now, what I just noticed is my connectors have not connected. All right, let's go and check why this is not happening. All right, so connectors are ready to connect. Why are my event controllers not doing that? So if I check my EC, connector is ready to lock. Output access slot 1. Effing hell, I need to lock. All right, so instead of unlocking, I need to lock. This was the locking mechanism. All right, so lock. Holy moly. All right, setup actions. All right, so now what I need to do is just turn on and off the connector on the missile or the other connector. And that should enable the event block to recognize it. We can do the same here. Off, on, there we go. All right, so now all of these are connected and this is going to work the next time. We can double check when I build my next set. So let's go back into our cockpit and then we can check our timers and if they work with the doors open and closed. So let's go back to our spectator. So if I now press the timer, which is normally going to engage my missiles, nothing's going to happen because my doors are not open. So we're just going to press 8 and that's going to open up my doors. My timers are now engaged. If I now engage, and we can check it from the outside now, which is number 9. Thrusters are not going anywhere. And why is that? Hello, and welcome to some meditation and relaxed reflection and look into what went wrong. And I will explain to you without going into a 1.5 hour rant about what went wrong. So here is a short list of what went wrong with the missiles, what we discovered during our checkup. And after that, we'll even notice that they still didn't fix anything. So stay tuned for the solution. So first of all, we noticed that the missiles were not completely welded up. Even while the projector said all blocks were done, we were missing the batteries and we were missing the sensors. And that was because the containers were not having the components for it. After we fixed that, we also noticed that we didn't set the sequence right for the timers. So the timers were not triggering each other, which only activated one missile. Now, after all that, it still didn't work. So let's now, together, look at the solution why my missiles did not work. Alright guys, we are in creative because I'm having a lot of trouble with my missile and I wouldn't figure out what the problem was until I did this. Building info, conveyor network. As you can see, my conveyor network is not linked up. I have 2 different links and override thruster is not connected and one of the directional thrusters is not connected as well. Now the reason for that is because we built this completely first out of the conveyor blocks and then we added the connector and I didn't take notice of the fact that this connector only has 2 ways, and I should have put the connector in this slot instead of in this slot. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to revert this. I'm going to have to take this block, put that one here, and put the connector there. That also means I will have to rename, and I will have to do some changes to the setup. Not changes, I will have to reset up the connector. So the first things first, I'm going to take this, I'm going to copy everything over of that connector so that if I build it there, I will not have any problem with naming it. So we're going to remove that one here. We're going to put a connector there. And we're going to place it in such a way that we can connect to each other. Then I'm going to remove that one, and we're going to put a regular conveyor in here. And now the whole system has been set up. Now let me just also give this the right color. There we go. Then I need to remove these plates because these are going to be different now. And that should work. So I'm going to have to do this for all the other 3 as well. I'm going to have to make sure that this one is named properly. Missile connector. And I'm pretty sure that should be missile connector 1. No, DTS 1. All right, no worries. I need to do this with all. And then I have to go in here. I have to go to my event block. The connector event block. And I will have to add that one back to the list. Add list. So now my connector is back here. Then I have to go to select actions. And then we need to find this one right here. And I need to also put my connector in here and say unlock. And this is more of the backup unlock in case something goes wrong. So that is what I need to do. I need to do this with the other ones. I just need to put some new plates on that so it's clear. And then I will also have to change the launcher a little bit so that the connector is actually shifted to the right. So we are sure that everything is working properly. Anyway, let me do that and I'll be back with you in the other safe and build up the launcher. Alright, now all the connectors have been switched around in the positions I want them to be. I now need to reset up my whole system. So both my event controllers and my time controllers have to recognize this new connector. So I'm going to go to my cockpit and I'm going to reset all these event controllers, all these connectors. You already saw me doing this. This is all still correct. So I'll see you when I'm done with that. Alright. Projectors have been enabled. If I'm happy with this, I can then put those launching systems into a blueprint for repairing, but that I can do off recording. So let's go and turn on the welders. Alright, all 4 connectors have automatically connected, so we should be ready to try this again. Fingers crossed. And the doors are open. This should not have changed at all. So let's engage our missiles. What's wrong now? Did I save? Why did you not engage? Alright, let me just BNCN. Wait. You're still linked up. Why are you still linked up? You should have disconnected, but... Alright guys, after some testing, I'm having still an issue. So the missiles are now correct. They are correct setup as well. The problem I have is that if we disconnect the missile, the event controller automatically connects that connector again, which doesn't allow my missile to depart. So what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to put another set of timers that the event controller activates and then ensures that the connector does not reconnect again, at least not in the first second. So I'm going to build 2 more timers up here. I'm going to set up the event controllers to trigger those timers. So the event controller has to disable itself and trigger the timer. So if I go to the missile and we're looking for the EC1. So what needs to happen? Instead of the event controller controlling the connector, we need the event controller to start the timer. And the timer needs to lock the connector. If I put a timer with a second delay, that means that if the connector is unlocked, the timer will need 1 second to lock again, giving the missile 1 second of time to use the override to fly out of the bay. So we're gonna take the unlock timer, just to unlock. In there, the timer is set to 1 second. Setup actions, we're gonna take the connector, missile connector, 1, and we're gonna say lock. And we just need to do this with the other 3 as well. Man, this has taken way too much of my time to get this to work. I mean, we still need to test it. But now, if this unlocks, it should take a second before it re-engages and this thruster should go. So I'm gonna save. And I'm gonna manually disengage this. If my missile goes, we're good. I can reload and then we can test them all 4. So if I now unlock, that's good. That worked. Let's go. Exit the main menu. No, I'll be back. All right, back again. Everything has been installed. Let's test this now. Let's see if we can fire our 4 missiles in a sequence. Here goes nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at that. Finally. Yay. Finally. All right. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go in here. I'm going to take some blueprints of these. I'm going to put them aside and set all the updated blueprints now into the projector so that if I need to repair anything, I can. I also will complete the panel again. So this is completely closed off and the missiles are safe when I'm actually moving a little bit. And then we will be back. After that, I just need to double check if we're missing anything. If I need to look at anything like installing, if I have all the weaponry, I might have to fill some of the materials in my container as well. But that's all not important. I want to make sure that the we have enough uranium to make sure that our reactors are working. I want to make sure that we have enough materials in my containers that I can make more missiles. I can repair my ship. And also, oh, I need to add more gyros. There we go. I'm going to weld this up as well. That's another 6 gyros. I'm assuming that's going to help a lot. I'll have to double check once I'm completely filled up with the resources and see if I need to add more. But I'm going to do this all off recording. I will be back once the ship is ready to go. And then we go and have a little bit of a battle. Man, this is the 13th episode. This was definitely not the most amazing event. All right, see you in a bit. All right, guys. It is time. Ship is ready. Anything else I need to tell you before we take off? I'm not sure. We made so that Izzy actually is filling my containers up now. So we can have the ship completely filled up without having to worry what we need. Oh yeah, I also added a defense block right here. The defense block is going to allow us to target lock from a further distance because the guns itself have like a range of 800 meters or something. If you use the defense block, the target lock can go much further. I also installed these buttons up here. These are going to allow me to turn my projector and welders on. Just in case I want to do some repair and I notice they're still on, I can turn them off from here without having to go to the cockpit. Let's see what we have up here. As you can see, the toolbar has been set up as well. My camera, my weapons, my railgun is ready. Then we have toolbar 2. This is going to give me some more details. I can open my hangar bay. Good that I checked that. We need a ship. What ship are we going to take with us? I think we're going to take the grinder with us. That should be good enough to do everything we need. It is nice and tight in our hangar bay. And hopefully this survives the battle. I have no idea what to expect, as in if we're going to survive this, and I'm pretty nervous. All right, so I think it's time. Let's get to the bridge. Oh, let's get to the bridge. I think it's time to get this battle started. I got an unidentified signal 1,436 kilometers away. Let's see how that goes, shall we? Now, instead of jumping straight to that drop spot, I think we're gonna jump less. I think I'm gonna jump 1,430 kilometers. 8, there we go. So that means I got 6 kilometers of distance. That's gonna give me some time to release my missiles. Let's go. "11 kilometers. All right, let's get the long flight there. Get ready for our missile launch. Is this moving? It is moving. I got a bad feeling about this one. I just saw it, but every time I'm moving my camera towards it disappeared. I think that's a bug, where if you aim your... Because there is another ship there, you see that? There's another ship right underneath the marker. But every time I'm moving my cursor over it, the whole ship disappears. I don't know what this is. Anyway, let's go and get it. Can I start targeting this? No. This is a heavy defended ship, by the way. I don't know what this is. Is this a ship? It does look like a ship. Okay, let's target. And... Alright guys, it's time. Engage the missiles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, are they going? Yes, yes. Go and get them. I think we are. Alright. Ooh. Alright, I don't think the missiles hit. I'm not sure what they already shot, but... Ooh, my god, look at the rockets! 2 against 1. This one has heavy shots, guys. I think this is all artillery turrets on that one. Alright, let's do a flyby. Need to turn and slow down. More coming. Oi. This heavy armor is doing their job. For the moment. Alright, let's get back to it. Alright, mark. Seems to be a little bit slower this time. Can we use the railguns? That was a nice hit, but I don't know if I hit the right thing. And they are hitting me hard. That's what? Where are these missiles? Where are these missiles coming from? Are you... Is this just spawning missiles, or is this welding missiles? What is this? My god, this ship has such heavy weaponry. Look at that. And it's hard to dodge them. Oh, I'm gonna get you back. I think it's time to use my lowers one now because I got some loss on top. Oh my god! That was a full hit. I mean, it's a good thing we didn't have the other one flying around anymore, that we only... Wait, is this... I think it's marking the other one there, 900 meters away. Let's keep an eye on that one. Well, clear it out, clear those guns out. It doesn't feel like it's shooting at the guns. It seems to be mainly aiming at the core. I wonder if the best strategy would be to just do a flyby and just keep your distance, because now I'm getting like easily 10 shots in from him on me while I'm trying to close the distance, but I'm still slowing down before I can start speeding up. Look at that, he's still shooting at me at 1.8 kilometers. These are heavy hitters. I almost have no more braking thrusters, by the way. No, I got one braking thruster left, so that's not ideal. I'm gonna try to fire a few more missiles, see if they are gonna work. That's one. The others are not going out, and I'm already starting to weld stuff up. Okay, I need to look into that as well. I might have to... I might have to look into this. How can I make sure that the welders don't... Okay, let me just wiggle this thing out. See if I can get these missiles out. Come on. Come on. Up. 1, 2 more. I got one more left there. So they are not ideal for fighting while you're flying, these missiles. And I have... Oh, I got 2 thrusters left, so it seems like my welder fixed one. That's good. Alright. Let's go. And I think I lost the ship now. Did it despawn? Let me turn on my GPS again. There he is. 5, 6 kilometers. I wonder how much weaponry he still has. Alright, let's go and get him. Still has teeth. But still have I. Come on, come on, come on. My ship is crying, guys. My ship is crying. There's gonna be a lot of repair work after this, if we survive this. It's unbelievable. There's still a weapon on there. How does they still have weaponry? And it seems to be only seems to have the artillery guns and the missiles, which I didn't see anymore. Still shooting this ship. Come on. Give up. Die. Stop it. Nope, still has them. See, this is my problem when I'm slowing down here, trying to, you know, reduce the gap. I should just leave myself drift a bit, but I don't want to lose the target as well. I mean, we do have the, you know, the GPS, but I don't think that's like a fair way to battle. But anyway, all right, let's see if we can just silence them forever. Come on. That should be the last run. Die. I didn't see any bullets anymore. I think we might have him. Yeah, I don't get anything. We're good. I think we're good, guys. We're still shooting weapons, but I think that might be interior guns. Let's do another flyby. Let's see if we can get any more. Yeah, we're still shooting for weapons. Although I do think these are interior because I'm not getting any fire back. I don't think... Would they shoot, like, stored missiles on a ship? I don't think so. I'm not entirely sure. But I think we're gonna be good. I think we can board the ship. We don't seem to be firing anymore. You think we can try to take it over? Let's go and check. Let's recharge everything. Let's see the damage on the inside. Actually, not too bad, to be honest. There's a lot of repairs that we need to do. Gyro's gone, but honestly, not too bad, not too bad. I even forgot to close my door. I think I even forgot my hand weapons. Yeah, this seems to be pretty much dead. We got a Prototech thruster, so that's nice. Oops. Let's dampen to it. And I think we're just gonna have to look inside, see if we can hack the control blocks. And see if there's any turrets inside as well, because I have no idea. Okay, first things first, let me... Could I grind one of you down? And then try to fix that one? Just need to hack it. Block is not powered, that's okay. Claim grid. Yes. Alright. So now the grid is not gonna despawn anymore. Whoops. Alright, let's look for controls. Toilets, crafty baroque. Don't see any turrets. I should have checked in the controls if there were turrets. There's a container here, which we can hack. Hack, not grind away. Seem to be drifting again. Yeah, we are flying on a quick speed. Do we still have turrets on here? All gone. Gatling, all gone. So there's no more weaponry here. Do we have warheads? No. No. Alright. So we can just try to claim this ship. What we need to find is the remote block. Just what is in here, and then grind this door open. My god, this takes always so long. I think it's best to build your bases out of doors. There we go. Let's open up. Second door. There was nothing in here. This looks pretty much gone. I did lose a lot of stuff, I'm assuming. Not entirely sure what is the best approach to like attacking these ships yet. Like, how can you make sure that you save most of the resources from it? This thing is also still moving, as in like turning around, so that means there's still gyros in here as well. So I think we will have Prototech gyros and the Prototech thruster. Alright, I think I found the heart. AI flight. Turn that off. AI offensive. Turn that off. AI defensive. Turn that off. I think the ship is now done. Alright, the ship has stopped a bit moving, so that's a good thing. What I'm gonna do here, I think I'm just gonna start hacking everything that has computers in it and see if I can take over the ship. That way we can also just claim everything without... we could even take the ship home. That might be a good idea. So I don't need to bother about fixing the ship here and grinding everything down here. Hello, buddy. That's a nice one. I'm not gonna hack it. There might be one on the other side. So we got one gyro, we got one Prototech thruster. We might have another gyro right here. Yep, we got a second one. Nice. So the ship is no longer moving. The gyros still are active, so I would like to turn them off before I come closer with my ship. So let me drop the stuff in this container. Alright, there's a whole bunch of containers here. Let's find those, whatchamacalldem. The gyros. Let's hack them. Alright, so I'm gonna have to grind these down. I'm not entirely sure where a hack is gonna be. So let's do this gentle and carefully. I might prefer to do this with my other grinder though. Bit by bit, a little bit more. Wait, did you stop working? Okay, that's enough. I just need you to stop working. So I'm gonna drop off my stuff. I'm gonna do the same with the other gyroscope. I'm just gonna make sure it stops working. I'm gonna bring my ship closer so that I can maybe bring some stuff over and repair some thrusters. And then I'm just gonna focus on getting this whole ship under my control. So it is hacked and it's mine. So I'll see you when I'm done with that. Alright, so we managed to actually hack each of these, all the blocks here. So this ship is now completely mine. The only thing I didn't want to hack was these because I didn't want to use my heavy duty tool. Let me just check. Character tools. And let me put that in here. I found this grinder in the in one of the lockers here. And let's just gently tap this until I go under the hack line. So as you can see, I'm clearly below the hack line right there. And I'm probably going to lose some Prototech machinery. There we go. This should be hacked. You can clearly see I hacked this thing. And it's still red. So the hacking of Prototech seems to be definitely bugged out, because if I go under the hack line, I should be able to hack it. Also, I don't want to be losing any Prototech modules just to be able to hack Prototech. Otherwise, there is no point in trying to get these until you have, of course, an assembler. Alright, now that the ship is mine and normally safe to bring over, I'm going to put a few blocks on my ship. I'm going to put a Mac plate on my ship. We're going to connect, and we're just going to jump the whole shebang back to the Kulos station. And I think we are probably going to have to end the episode here, because we are getting to a real... I've been doing this for a long time. Especially after those beautiful missile issues. Anyway, so I'm going to put the landing gear on here. I'm going to weld this up. We're going to connect it to the ship, and we're gone. I'm not actually sure if we're going to be able to do this jump in one go, so we might have to do it in 2 jumps. But that's okay. In the meantime, this can recharge while I'm doing some more grinding down. Or fixing up. We'll see. So. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I know you can just jump, but I kind of like to have the jump coming straight from my nose. Alright, control panel, jump drives. We can jump 1,000 kilometers, so that means I'm going to be 400 kilometers short. I'm going to be jumping towards Kulos station. And... ready. Jump. Yes. In the meantime, that's also going to clear the ship from all the floating objects. And I don't need to bother about it anymore. There we go. We've got another 166 kilometers, so this is going to take some time for the jump drive to, let me see, recharge. 7 minutes, so that means we've got some time to do some more work. Let's go home. Alright, I didn't hack my gyros yet, so I'm not entirely sure what my turrets are going to do on my space station. So what I'm going to do, let's just jetpack to the space station, turn off the turrets, and then we should be safe to fly in. Phew, alright, well, we made it back in one piece. This was an intense battle. The Riftblade took a beating, but also came out on top. We managed to take down a really heavy armored ship, and even salvaged some of the Factorum tech in the process, so that's not bad. I got a lot of repairs to do. Those artillery turrets absolutely shredded parts of the ship, and I will have to work on improving the maneuverability. I think I was most vulnerable when I was trying to slow down and catch up again and closing the gap, which left me very much open to enemy fire. So we're going to have to work on something with more thrusters. We also need to make sure that we can protect the jump drives, because as you can see, one more solid hit and I might not have made it out there. Now, if you have been following this series, you know that this whole thing was leading up to the big battle, and we finally did it, which means this is actually the last episode of Beginner to Factorum, at least as a full series. I got a new project coming up, something I'm really looking forward to, but I also need to focus on. So for now, I think we're going to put the Riftblade into the hangar bay. Don't worry, this is not the end of the Riftblade or my battles with the Factorum. I still want to test the ship more. I want to upgrade it and, of course, blow more stuff up. So in the future, there will be standalone videos, that's at least the plan, where I got some big battles, testing some more Factorum tech, and probably upgrade the Riftblade to become even deadlier. So yeah, Beginner to Factorum is wrapping up, but there is plenty more to come. If you enjoyed this series, I would say stick around, there is more to come. If you haven't already, drop a like, leave a comment, and I thank you again for watching this series. I'll see you in the next one. Beeblebum out.